my G's. So I made some lasagna and this was so good. I made a bechamel and I also made bolognese sauce and I used lasagna sheets. But let me tell you how I got started. I cut up my vegetables, celery, carrots, onion, and I minced my garlic. I put my pot on the stove. I put a stick of butter in there. I put my vegetables in there, just the carrots, celery, and the onion. I am going to let that cook for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the vegetables are soft and translucent. I did season those vegetables with pink Himalayan salt that is going to help draw out the liquid and let it caramelize a little bit. And then I put in 3 pounds of ground turkey. So this is me getting started on the bolognese sauce, okay? Now, bolognese takes hours to cook. If you have had bolognese, like real bolognese, and not just spaghetti sauce, this shit takes hours. I am making mine with ground turkey. I seasoned it with sea salt, Italian seasoning, onion and garlic powder, also some basil and some red pepper flakes. I let that cook just a little bit with the seasonings. And then after my meat was just about done, I went ahead and I seasoned it again with the same seasonings: basil, Italian seasoning, onion and garlic powder, and a little more pink Himalayan sea salt and black pepper. I am going to let this cook until the meat is just about done. And before I put my liquid in, I'm going to toss in my minced garlic. I am putting some dry white wine in there. Make sure when you put your white wine in that you use a good white wine, okay? And it must be dry. I have not heard about no sweet white wine being put in there. I don't even want to know what that would take. It'll make it sweet, but that's your choice. That's your decision, whatever you do. But I use dry white wine. I am going to let this reduce halfway. Once it does reduce half, maybe just a little bit less than half, I'll say about a quarter of the liquid still left in there, I am going to go ahead and put my tomato paste in. I'm going to stir it really good with the tomato paste to make sure that I coat the meat and cook the tomato paste about 3 to 5 minutes just to get the flavor in the tomato paste. This is going to help with the thickening of the sauce. And then I'm going to go behind that with some crushed tomatoes after 3 to 5 minutes of the tomato paste cooking down in the meat sauce, the vegetables, and the wine. I pour the crushed tomatoes in there. I did make me some chicken broth on the side. I have 4 cups. I'm going to fill my crushed can of tomatoes up with the chicken broth just to get all the residue of the tomatoes out, and then pour the rest into the pot. I'm going to let this cook. I let mine cook, my bolognese cook for about 4 hours, 4 to 4.5 hours. And then when it reached that point, this is what it was given. It was given full of flavor. The meat was so tender. The sauce was delicious and seasoned to perfection. When I say perfection, this was perfection. The damn bolognese was worth the damn wait. Now I'm going to get started on my bechamel. I am going to take a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of flour. So equal parts fat and equal parts flour to fat. So I'm going to melt down my butter, get it all melted, and then I'm going to add in 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And yeah, you might be like, oh, she making a roux. Yeah, it starts as a roux. It starts as a roux. It does. But I'm going to pour milk in mine. A lot of y'all might also be like, oh, this is how I do mac and cheese. Well, yeah, you can definitely do this it's mac and cheese. This is called a bechamel sauce. Okay, so you're going to cook it. Make sure you stir it really good. You might want to get you a whisk. I am using a wooden spoon because I like using a wooden spoon. So I let that cook down. Make sure to stir it. Get all the lumps of the garlic. Get all the lumps of the flour out of there. Then I added in the rest of my little minced garlic that I had on the side. I also have 4 cups of whole milk. That is what I'm using. I'm using whole milk. You can use half and half. You can use evaporated milk. You can use heavy cream, whatever your heart desire, okay? And then I'm just going to ended up using 6 cups of whole milk to get the consistency that I was looking for. I just continue to stir to make sure that it was smooth, like I wanted to be smooth. If you were going to go for a mac and cheese, you put your 4 cups of milk in there and then pour your cheeses in there. I didn't put no cheese in my bechamel sauce, okay? I just made sure that I got it to the consistency that I wanted. And then I went ahead and I seasoned my bechamel once I got it to the thickness of the, just how smooth I wanted it or whatever. I seasoned it with some pink Himalayan sea salt, some white black pepper, and some nutmeg. Yes, nutmeg is the key. If you did not know that, to a good bechamel, nutmeg. So after I did that, I put that to the side and I got my lasagna pan ready by putting some butter all up and through that thing. And then I put my lasagna sheets down. And then I topped the lasagna sheets with the bechamel. And then I put the bolognese. And now we just gonna layer this thing up. We got the bolognese. I'm gonna put some more bechamel on top of my bolognese. And then what you think I'm gonna do? I'm going to put Parmesan cheese. If you want, you can use whatever you want to use, okay? You can use mozzarella. You can use sharp cheddar. You can use 6 or 3 Italian cheeses, whatever your heart desire, okay? Now, these lasagna sheets, I was mad because I was looking for a different kind, but these are the ones that I found. Next time, I'm just going to make my damn lasagna sheets from scratch because I was mad that they were so little. I wanted it to cover the whole pan, basically. The idea I had in my head, the way I wanted it to look, it did not look that way. But I continued to go on. Life goes on. Shit don't turn out the way you want it to. Continue to move on. You got to work with what you got. So after I did all of my layers, my final layer was the lasagna sheet. After I put the sheets on there, what I did was wrap it up in plastic wrap and foil, put it in the oven for 2 hours. I cut my lasagna, put it in a pan with my tomato sauce being heated up, poured heavy cream on top, put it in the oven. Also, I did sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top, and then I put it in the oven for 10 minutes. That's all it needed, okay? I'm just trying to get the heavy cream to cook a little bit. I took it out the pan and plated that shit up. I poured the leftover sauce on top of that lasagna because this is what you need to do. And then after I did that, I sprinkled that motherfucker with some Parmesan cheese and the little red pepper flakes. Look, this shit was busting. And you should try it. And when you do try it, I hope you enjoy it. But I just want y'all to quit playing with me because this shit was delicious as hell. And I does the thing. I'm gone.